Let's do it again. What do you say? What a day. What a day. Just sitting here watching into the third quarter here, East Carolina, Coastal Carolina. People didn't play Ehlers. I just he was the one you had to play, I thought. You had to play him. Just like you had to play Mitchell. They both got there. And I played Winstead. I went with the Holy Trinity and they all delivered for me. So big day for me. I mean, I say big day. Sadly, a couple of the higher limit things, the head-to-heads I was in, I guess they withdrew them late or something. I don't know what happened, but I had almost $2,000 in action, and then whenever it locked, I only had like $1,200 in action, maybe $1,300 or so, but significantly lower than I thought. So that was a little disappointing because I think I'm gonna legit clean sweep today. So very, very happy. Man, I'm glad we got that news. Once again, look at me, man. You got to hear me on this, brother. Look at me. Some of you probably missed the Singleton news today, right? You had Singleton in your lineup. You feel like that's why you didn't cash. First of all, 60% of people still had him in their cash lineups, right? The big double ups. So understand that was the vast majority of people. Second, and this is the more important point, and I really need you to hear this one. College football is chaotic. It is wild. We get shitty news. We get lack of news. We get gossip news, and it is very frustrating, and it will tilt the shit out of you. And you got to be a special kind of person to want to deal with this shit. You have to learn to let this shit be water off a duck's back and not give a fuck because it will piss you off. It will piss you off. So, as far as that goes, I will say this. If you're going to play it, anytime a game is within 10 minutes of lock, you've got to be hanging in the college football Discord, or if we're doing a stream, you got to be on here because literally I think it was at 10:57, 3 minutes before lock today, we found out about it and we decided to make the move to go with the other dude. Wasn't Arnold. It was the other guy. That's how much he means to me. Ezra? I can't even remember his name. The point is, he got us 7 points, and 7 points over a 0 when 60% of people are taking that 0 is just astronomical, right? That alone will almost make you cash if you just don't build a fucking dipshit lineup in other places, right? So that would be my advice to you. And it's not just when lock happens tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Lord's time zone. It's also when all those other games are going to lock because a lot of times the news doesn't break till 5 minutes before lock. So you need to kind of be checking in. If you're like, well, I work or I've got kids. I get it, brother. I totally do. But you also got to get it on what you're signing up for when you play college football cash game, right? It's kind of, I think that's why there's such an edge is it's not like other PGA sports where you're my projections and shit will help you. No, it's basically who babysits the lineup better and who knows how to construct a roster better is about 90% of the battle at college football cash game. And so that's what you got to do. And if you can't do that, well, then maybe just don't play cash, right? Go play some GPPs and, just live with whatever happens. Ayler's just throwing up shitty passes right now. It's all right. I swear he's already got like 30 points. So that's it. Okay, that was today. Good day for me. Can't wait to get back at it again tomorrow. And tomorrow, which, by the way, tomorrow is Wednesday because I'm making this Tuesday night. You're probably watching it Wednesday morning. I don't know when the fuck you watch this. By the way, we'll be streaming for the 1 hour leading up to lock. So I believe that will be at noon to 1, Lord's time zone tomorrow. We have an exciting slate. This feels like the old big Saturday, 13, 14 game slate because we have lots of choices, lots of really high totals, lots of really scary people to fade, and we're going to have to make some tough choices. And let me tell you right now, every time before I come on here, I like to go check and see, just put together a dummy cash lineup. It was fucking tough. It was real tough. There is no punts on this slate. So, a guy like Bo Nix tomorrow is so appetizing. 44-point total. The guy's been unbelievable all year. I swear to God, he averages 40 points a game. You can't play him. You just can't play him in cash. You can't do it. Because if you play him at 9,400, you're going to have to punt twice. And I fucking challenge you to even feel good about punting once tomorrow. I mean, there's nobody on this slate under $5,000 that I have a lick of fucking interest in. None. And if there's nobody under 5,000, well, I mean, there's this thing called math where you got to play somebody below 5,000, right? If you want to have any good players, you're going to have to do that. And I don't like any of them. I don't like any of them, Bob. So we're going to have to get real creative about where we go at cash. And it might end up we might just have to find the right guy to punt on. Do I see that guy when I'm glancing around here? No, Bob. No, I don't. I mean, even J.J. Johnson, who I want to punt with, he's still 4,800. It's not like that's cheap. Jordan Moore is the number one wide receiver for Duke at 4,500. Smash play. Wait a second. They have him listed as a fucking quarterback, so you can't play him. Can't play him. You cannot play a wide receiver at quarterback. You're a dumbass if you do that. If you do that, you don't talk to me for 9 days and 7 hours. I don't know why I picked that period of time. It just seemed right. So it's going to be fun. I love these. It's going to be hard. You're going to have a slime ball in your lineup tomorrow. Maybe he goes off. Maybe he gets you a 0. Welcome to the game, brother. All right, as you can see, I actually think all these are pretty good games to target. They all have very high totals. They all are very competitive. Even the one game with a big line, the UNC-Oregon game, might be my favorite game because yes, UNC has not looked that great recently, but I still think they're good. I still think Drake May is a generational talent. I think he's a really good football player. So I think any of these games you want to stack is fun. Now, the good news is I think GPPs will be a lot easier because there are flyers. You can go play Pace Hour. Pacer? Pace Hour. You can go play him at 3,300 in a GPP lineup. I won't give you any shit, right? You want to go play Higgins in a lineup? Go ahead. You want to go play I'm trying to look who would be another good punt option. Miles Price, Nehemiah Martinez. You want to go throw those guys in GPPs? Go ahead. But no chance I think you want to put those. Okay, maybe Price you could put in a cash lineup. I think I put him in mine. Oops. And yeah, you're probably going to want to get 3 running backs in there, but now you're really going to have to punt at a wide receiver spot. I'm telling you, you're going to want to take a shower after you make your cash lineup. A cold shower. All right, let's get to talking about this. I think, fortunately, again, it seems like the first game has the biggest news injury we need to watch. We are going to assume that Plumlee is going to play, and if he does, he's a really good quarterback. I think he's almost cash viable if he plays. He has such a big upside with his legs. I mean, he has I think he almost has 1,000 yards rushing on the season, which is insane for as much as that guy gets banged up. Which I guess when you're always running around taking big hits, that's what happens. Am I right, McCall? Okay. He can't McCall at the moment. So Plumlee, very nice GPP play. I think he is super stackable with Hudson or Baker or holler at your boy Alec. Okay, those are all fine plays. In cash, I don't think you consider him for a hot fucking second. Not for a hot second, because he gets banged up too much. Even though he might be a guy that could go get you 30 points at 7,500, which sounds nice, he just gets hurt too much. He's fragile. The running backs, Bowser, maybe if I had a castle, I'd be more interested in him, but I don't. Okay, so I'm not going to play him. I don't like Harvey. I put those guys on there in case you're doing some weird game stack. You want some weird correlation. Who was that today? The Memphis running back, right? He busted the long one right at the end of the game and ended up getting 20 fantasy points. I mean, he was a garbage play all day, and then he busts a 12-point run, and now all of a sudden he's the nuts play of the day, right? One of these guys could do that. I don't think I'm going to rotate him in there, though. Okay. Duke, Riley Leonard, 32-point total, very good quarterback, passes the ball, very efficient, runs the ball, very good. But they just play a little slow. They like to run the ball. They run more than they pass. So those aren't the quarterbacks I typically like. Plus, I think he's going to be playing from ahead. I like my quarterbacks playing from behind. Man, the Mitchell kid from ECU, he's an incredible running back. Now, as I say that, he's fucking hurt. But he is good. He's the slimiest little bastard, man. I've never seen anybody take him down at first contact. Okay. The wide receivers, I think Calhoun's a very interesting play. I don't want to pay $6,000 for him, but he is their number 2 receiver. They do pass the ball about 30 to 35 times a game. I think he's definitely, you could make him part of a Riley Leonard stack if you wanted to. So as far as this game goes, I don't think there's anybody I'm getting to for cash in this game. I would love to play Jordan Moore at cash if he was a $4,500 wide receiver. Matter of fact, I'd be fucking pumped about it, but he's not. He's a quarterback, so you can't play him. He's a quarterback on DraftKings. I'm assuming he's a quarterback on FanDuel, too. I don't actually know that because I don't really ever play on FanDuel. Ugh, good stuff. Hold on. This is, Ehlers. Touchdown at Johnson. I know that makes some of you motherfathers happy. All right. Game 2. probably my favorite game. I don't know. There's one game I'm going to stack this shit out of. I love this game. I maybe it's because I got that Kansas bye. You know what I bet the answer is? I bet the answer is this. How many times this year did I play Jalen Daniels and KJ Jefferson at cash quarterback, and they got me there so much? So maybe I have a soft spot in my heart for those little fast fuckers. Okay, KJ Jefferson's not that fast, but he's a big old rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, mumbling. Okay. For Kansas, I think you need to play Jalen Daniels at cash. I do. First of all, he's just a little bit cheaper than all the other good quarterbacks, right? Yeah, he's a little bit more expensive than Dart, but he's also about 10 times better than Dart. He's a little bit more expensive than Shogi from Tech, but we're not even sure that Shogi from Tech is going to get all of the work. So I'm not playing him in cash. So you get a little bit of the discount. You get the running upside. We've seen him be explosive, and Arkansas's defense has been a bit of a sieve this year. And they're missing a bunch of guys from their secondary. Like half their defense is out, either transferring or going to the NFL. So I really like Jalen Daniels, right? And I almost put Devin Neal as cash too, because that $6,300 at running back actually is kind of nice. It's kind of nice because, $6,300 is so much easier to justify than like $7,400 or $7,200 for Quishon Judkins. However, looking a little bit deeper to stats, there for a while, he was basically their only running back. I'm talking like 30 touches a game only running back. I think almost one game he might have 40 touches. But the last two games, he's only averaged 17 touches each of the last two games. They have another guy in, not somebody that we can play, but somebody that's involved enough to limit how much his upside is, right? So I think Devin Neal is a guy you're going to want to rotate into your GPP pool if you're going to be doing that, but he's not a guy I love for not a guy I think, if you play him at cash, especially in your flex, if he's your third running back, I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. The wide receivers from Kansas, if you're going to be playing Daniels, I think at GBP you certainly want to stack him with one of these receivers. I think Grimm and Arnold are definitely a cut above, but you got to consider Skinner. I'm not considering any of them for cash, but in GPPs, I think you almost certainly want to play at least one of them with Daniels. So if he throws for 2 passing touchdowns, hopefully they get one of those, maybe 100 yards, something like that. You need that correlation. As good as Jalen Daniels is, he ain't going to get there naked. He'll be wearing clothes. All right, for Arkansas, KJ Jefferson, I mean, what an environment. A 36-point total, a guy that runs the ball, tough as nails, can throw the ball. He's everything you want. But I'm just going to tell you. I'm going to tell you the worst secret ever. You ready? He's too expensive. You're not going to be able to afford to get him in your lineup. I know. I was just dicking around with it. Unless you want to go mega punt, unless you find some $3,000 receiver that no one else on this fucking earth knows about, I just don't see how you can play him. I don't see how you can play him. And then to complement that point, I want you to look at Raheem Sanders right there below him, right? $6,900. That is a beyond fair price for Raheem Sanders, who averages 22 touches a game for the entire season. He is explosive. They have a huge total. They're playing Kansas's defense. And if Sanders is doing well, that usually directly, vultures Jefferson. So I think I'm just going to go with Sanders. So far, I think Sanders is by far the best running back play on this slate. You know how like yesterday I said, like, you just play Mitchell. You don't think about it. You set it and you forget it. All right? That's what you do. And I think Raheem Sanders is that guy tomorrow. You just play him. I don't care if he's 100% owned. I don't care if he's 20% owned. You just fucking play him. Like, he's the best play on the slate. Maybe he gets there, maybe he doesn't. But when you look at every single metric that we use to determine what is a good cash play, he checks it. Does he have a high floor? Yes. Does he have a high ceiling? Yes. Does he have a guaranteed huge workload? Yes. Is he in a competitive environment? Yes. Do they have a high team total? Yes. Are they going to be playing from ahead? Yes. So, I mean, outside of him getting injured or Kansas fucking learning how to play defense, I just don't see any way he doesn't get you at least 15 points with probably 35-point upside. So there you go. And at $6,900, that is a very affordable price tag for somebody with that kind of upside. You set it, you forget it. Wide receivers for Arkansas. Landers almost won me a GPP this year. Never forget. But he didn't, so fuck him. If you don't know, Hazelwood has opted out. And then swear they have one other guy. Maybe it's not. Maybe Landers is their other guy. I swear I'm forgetting somebody. But Landers looks like he's going to be the number one wide receiver, but Arkansas just doesn't pass that much. I like Landers quite a bit for some GPP stacks, but I don't think that you want to consider him for cash. I just, he might only get 3 targets would be the problem, right? Sorry, I'm watching White run. Boom. All right. As I told you, this game right here, you see this total? We got, I think, actually with the new line, I think that's shrunk up a little bit. I think UNC's up to like 31 implied total. So I think they're about 13 or 14 point dogs roughly, right? Which is a pretty big line. And a lot of that has to do with guys sitting out. The biggest one is Downs is out, right? Downs is opting out. That's their number one wide receiver. He's a complete badass. He is out for UNC. So they've already been struggling on offense. And now you're factoring in that they're going to be without definitively their best wide receiver in Downs. So this might be a scary spot for you. But Oregon has given up a lot of yards this year. Even in the games they win, they give up a lot of points. Second of all, I think Drake May is a generational talent, right? And third of all, I just feel like he's going to be playing from behind. And they're not playing Clemson this time. They're playing fucking Oregon. And Oregon doesn't have animals all over the field like Clemson does. So there you go. I don't think the Pac-12 plays as good a defense as the ACC. There, that's my opinion, Bob. So because of that, I think that you should strongly consider playing Drake May as your superflex. I think that him and Jalen Daniels are the best bang for your buck. They're under 8,000. Drake May, don't forget, he was a guy people were okay paying $9,400 for in cash just 2 months ago. Now at $7,900 in a game environment where they're around 30 points, I'm going to play him. He might get hurt. He might suck. But who else am I going to play? I'm not playing Jackson Dart. Not a chance in hell. They're a running team. I'm not going to play Taylor Shugi because, I'm not sure that Morton's not going to come in. Nix is too expensive. Riley Leonard is the quarterback of a slow offense. Plumlee might be knocked the fuck out. I don't even know if he's playing. And KJ Jefferson's too expensive. So literally it just comes down to just process of elimination. We know I'm playing 2 quarterbacks. We know you're playing 2 quarterbacks. So to me, it's going to be Daniels and May. If you have the creativity to get up to Bo Nix, God bless your soul. Get Bo Nix. Bo Nix is a smash play tomorrow if you can afford him. I couldn't afford him. Just at the quick dicking around. So if I had to rank these quarterbacks, right, now that I've covered all the good quarterbacks, now I'll do this at the end. I'm burying the lead. So Drake May, I think he's cash game viable. I think he's if UNC, UNC might get blown out, he might suck. That is a distinct possibility. Okay, I'd say at least 20% of the time that happens, and he doesn't even get 20 points, and he'll be a bust. But I would say 80%. Oh, there's Pinckney. Let's go. Oh, sorry, I get excited. I know a lot of guys that played Pinckney, and they need a big second half from him. So I want you guys to win too. I want y'all to win too. I get excited about you guys winning. So Drake May. I'm going to play him. I'm going to play him in cash. Unless I wake up in the morning and have some different take, but as of right now, May's in there. Elijah Green seems to have taken over the backfield from UNC, and I think he's actually at 5,700. Not a bad play at running back. Not a bad play. However, I do worry that they are going to get in a script where they're going to be behind, and North Carolina will abandon the shit out of their run game whenever they get behind. So that's my biggest concern. If you think that UNC is going to stay competitive the whole game or be playing from ahead, I think Elijah Green might actually be a pretty good play. I'm just too scared they're going to get in a bad script and he's going to get scripted out. Just like I said could happen with Tyler today. I fucking nailed that. Tyler even stayed in the game. He never leaves the field, that guy. And he still got scripted out. He only had 10 points at 6,300. And that was my biggest concern with playing Tyler today, is sometimes these running backs, even when they get a good amount of touches, they'll get scripted out. And they're just not getting good quality touches that are going to lead to them getting fantasy points. Wide receivers, Anton Green is a great play at 7,000. He's almost impossible to get to in cash. I would like to get to him, but man, I can already tell you how much I'm spending on my running backs and how much I'm spending on my quarterbacks. Wide receivers, just, I'm going to take, that's where I'm going to punt. I'm not punting at quarterback. I'm not punting at running back. I'm going to punt at receiver. And when you do that, you can't play Green unless you want to double punt, which I'm not going to double punt either. After Green, it's like, who the hell do I play? I don't know. I would say J.J. Jones is probably the most likely, but we don't really know who's going to fill this vacuum. It's the first time I've ever put 6 receivers from a team on there because that's how big of a That's how big of a void our dude Downs being out leaves. So try to guess those right. If I had to guess, I would say J.J. Jones is probably my favorite. Then probably Nesbitt. And then maybe Pace Hour. But honestly, I'm fucking guessing, man. I'm pretty much guessing. Nobody knows. We don't know. By the way, one more time. Dr. Jar. I think that was right? The guy that tipped us off about that. Thank you for sharing that. He got that from the Roto Grinders Discord and from RPS. So thank you for sharing that. You're a fucking legend. I hope you heard me say we're building the lineup together. I don't give a shit if you want to or not. We're doing it, Bob. All right, Oregon, Bo Nix is unbelievable. He gets it done through the air. He gets it done on the ground. He is almost a shoo-in for 25 points tomorrow. But I'm just telling you, at 9,400, it becomes almost impossible to play him in cash. If you can, God bless your soul. GPPs, I think you're fine, because in GPPs, I don't mind punting twice. Hell, I don't mind punting 3 times in a GPP lineup. So you can probably get some Bo Nix in there. The rest of Oregon actually has some really good value that I'm interested in. Basically, they're in a pretty much a timeshare now between Irving and Whittington. And you know I don't love timeshares. You know the big guy hates it. However, Oregon's timeshare is a little bit different because it's basically just those two. They do really creative things to get him the ball. They're both electric as fuck, and they're both really efficient. They're involved in the pass game. They average a lot of runs per carry, and they get goal line carries. So because of that, I think I like Bucky Irving in cash. I can't believe I'm saying that. I never play timeshare running backs in cash. But you need some salary relief, and $5,900 at your second running back spot with Raheem Sanders seems pretty nice. So I think you're going to – I'm not telling – he's not a must-play. Raheem Sanders, you fucking play him. You said it, you forget it. Bucky Irving is a guy I think that is just good enough to play at cash. He's not a gotta-play-at-cash kind of guy. Noah Whittington is another big upside guy. I don't like him as much, but I like him for GPPs just fine, brother. For Oregon, Troy Franklin is definitely their number one receiver, but at $6,900, it's really hard to get up to him for a guy that only averages 6 targets a game. Not the most fun. Chris Hudson was their number 2, but then Coda came back last game and was like, God himself. So I think Coda might be their number 2 receiver. So I almost think that I almost made Coda cash, but I was reluctant to do it because I know if I put any wide receiver with a cash designation, you guys are going to be on him like flies on shit. So I didn't, but I am very warm to playing Coda at cash based off what we saw from the first game he was back, which was it their last game of the season, or was it the Pac-12 championship? I can't remember. Okay, I don't even remember what day of the week it is right now, so give me a break. And then if you want to punt, Terrence Ferguson. Or if you're a big fan of Saturday Night Live, Turd Ferguson. The last game, Mississippi and Texas Tech. This game is the perfect correlation game because you can go Texas Tech in their passing, and then you can run it back with Mississippi in their run game. Sorry, big guy's thirsty. Jackson Dart, whatever, For a quarterback, it's ironic. Dude's never thrown a dart in his life. Juckins. I don't know how the fuck I feel about Juckins, man. He seems to check every box. He's an unbelievable talent. He is on a run-first team. He has clearly taken over the front end of the committee that he was in with Zach Evans. So I think I'm kind of leaning towards fuck it. I'm just going to play him. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, him and Devin Neal, right? Like, I feel like they're both probably going to get 18 touches tomorrow. But Juckins is just twice as good as Devin Neal. So I think I'd rather just pay the $900 and have the guy that's twice as talented. But at the same time, I don't love 18 touches from a guy at 7,200. Now, I know you're looking at those totals there, but, I have a hard time believing that he's going to get 22 touches tomorrow. If he does, well, then you want to play him. If you think Juckins is going to get 22 touches, I think you play him in cash. I think it's him, Irving, and Sanders are probably your best 3. Evans, if you want a home run in GPPs, is fine. I'm not going to be touching any Ole Miss receivers. They all have some upside, especially Mingo and Heath. But, whatever. They just love to run the ball. And, I think Tech can be ran on. And then Texas Tech, I mean, just a great GPP team. I would say Show would be the nuts. And honestly, the more I think about it, it might be where I wish I could just get word that Show was going to be playing the whole game. Because if I could have a $6,000 Tech quarterback, that sounds amazing. Amazing. Hold on. I want to just go look at my lineup real quick. The things I could do if If I got Drake May out, let's see, upcoming. I know this is riveting, but shit, if you're here after 24 minutes, you're committed anyway, so shut up. Let's see. I'm going to take out May, and I'm going to go put in Sugar. All right. I don't know why I'm doing that. Holy shit. Hold on. Can this get me to Juckins? Don't love it, Bob. Here, once if I take this up to May, what does that do? If I go May here. Nope. Not quite. Okay, something to consider. We got some things to consider. All right, so we're gonna have to watch this. I just from what I'm reading, Morton's going to get some snaps. They've already done this weird shit before where they bring him in. And with a quarterback from Tech, they have to be so efficient with their touchdowns and their yards. You can't afford to have some fucker coming in and running special packages and shit down on the goal line and, vulturing your touchdowns and stuff, right? So that's the only thing that concerns me there. Taj Brook has been their leading running back all year, but last game, for whatever reason, Sir Roderick Thompson took over, like 25 touches took over. So if he's going to do that at 5,100, yes, but I'm not going to count on that. Wide receiver, I think Miles Price is their number one guy, but he's just been out so much this year, it's hard to get a consistent feel for where he's going to be. I think him and Bradley are definitely the number ones. If there was a God, we would get word that that like one of those two is out, and then Xavier White becomes the nuts all of a sudden. And for whatever reason, Nehemiah Martinez's price isn't showing up, but I think he's also viable as a punt wide receiver. I think he's like the stone cold minimum. All right, now I'll rank him, okay? My quarterbacks that I'm ranking tomorrow, okay? This is so misleading, right? Because if I'm just ranking them, we're like, salary be damned. Well, then, of course, Bo Nix is number one, right? Of course he's number one. He's going to get the most points tomorrow. But it's like, can you afford to pay for him? So I'm going to do it based on, price adjusted, who I think the best quarterbacks are. Price adjusted, the best quarterback, in my opinion, well, I want to say Shugi, but I can't. I just can't until I get better word on what their quarterback situation is. So probably Jalen Daniels, number one. Probably Drake May, number two. Plumlee would probably be number three if we get word that he's playing, but I still can't play him in cash because he's fucking fragile. Number four would probably be Bo Nix. Number five, Jefferson. Number six, Riley Leonard. It's just these guys, they just get too expensive, man. They're just too expensive. Damn, it's so hard to make a lineup. Running backs, Sanders is definitely number one. Juckins, I think I'm leaning towards being number two. Irving, number three. Neal, number four. Green, number five. I think that'd be my top five running backs in order. And then wide receivers in order that I like the most tomorrow. Once again, I guess we got to go price adjusted here, right? Oh, wide receiver is a fucking travesty tomorrow. I mean, you know what? Now that I just said that, it just hit me. I am punting at wide receiver. Fuck it. I'm playing Quentin Skinner. Okay, I'm not going to get that punty, but like, if I'm going to stress over a position, I'm going to stress over the position that everybody is stressing over. So ranking my wide receivers, I guess my favorite play, I'm going to give them in no particular order. 5 guys to consider. Javon Baker, I guess. I don't know, because then Plumlee's not that great of a passer. The backup quarterback's even worse passer. Jesus. So I can't have him. Nobody from there. Well, Jordan Moore's a great one, but he's a fucking quarterback. So I guess Coda, J.J. Jones, Antoine Green, Miles Price. I don't know. I don't like any of them. You know what? Tomorrow, this is the rough draft tonight. Okay, I wanted to put this out there for you to have it. Wanted you to see me bitching and squirming, which I don't want to brag. I feel like I've done. So there you go. We'll stream tomorrow like we did today. I hope you can make it. All right. If you can't, just shoot me some questions on the DM. I try to be accessible to the peeps. Okay. I think that is it. I've got to go celebrate. Go count on my money that I won today. Hope you guys did well as well. I hope you're enjoying college football and the chaos that is college football cash game as much as me. Talk to you guys later.